Hello, I'm Holly Flink. For class, I had to do several videos on Unreal and the Unreal Engine and how we use the Unreal Engine and the things we created in Unreal Engine. And I realized that I got really close to the mic there. Sorry. I made a construct map as well for a class too. This is kind of, I gotta remember how to play it. Ooh. Sorry. I pulled my keyboard out and pulled the mic down, so there's gonna be like a bunch of I'll silence it for you. Maybe. I don't want to edit this. So let's see if we can play it. Oh my goodness gracious, really? Okay, so the goal was to get 10 gems in return. So it's not, okay, it's arrow keys, got it. So that's a check mark that I just got, and it displays a little thing. I don't really need my mouse, so I'm gonna move it to the side. Ugh, it runs pretty terribly because I have Photoshop open. Wow, he's actually working. So this little guy that you see, ooh. Okay, I need to respawn. So yeah, and then when you respawn, does that. Oops. It's okay, he's gone. So he has a health, and you just shoot him a bunch. Oops. So I got a gem, as you saw, in the top. That's weird. Oh. I missed again. I'm bad at platformers, TBH. He can climb. Oh. That's right. That is a little bit too close to the top. I made that such a long time ago that it's struggling to load here. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. I'm making myself frustrated, and I know how this game works. Oh, I almost died right there. Okay, there we go. We got the gem. Sorry. The blocks are really slippery for some reason. To be fair, ugh. When you hit them, ooh. It's a little glitchy at times. So you can kill him or not. Maybe I do have to. It's really glitchy. I will get this. Don't worry. If not, Construct has the ability to start from anywhere. Ugh. That block is broken. That block is broken. My brain's broken. And I decided to record this. That block is really... I can't jump. I can't even get past. Okay. Okay. Ah! And my keyboard doesn't like it when you press too many buttons at the same time. Okay, I want to pause the recording and get past this a little bit. Hold. I did it! How sad. Okay. That's right! He can double jump. I'm an idiot. I forget this. I did this a long time ago. Okay, so I got a checkpoint, so that's good. Contract is still running. That happens sometimes. It's a little glitch in the system. I gotta shoot him. Okay, they have 4 health. Is there down? Yeah, there is. Oh, there's a little shortcut there. Ooh, not really though. So I'm just gonna go this way. He still got me though. There we go. It breaks a little bit after you, I forget he has a double jump. Okay, there is a gem down here. But you have to die in order to get it. Oof. Oh, I got a checkpoint. Apparently. Anyways. Oof. That Pachysaurus, man. It's kicking my butt. It's, I'm just really bad at this, is what it is. There we go. So we got a... we have a moving platform. No. Okay, there we go. You have to break it a little bit. Moving platform. Did it. Checkpoint. Oof. There we go. Little... That's how we get past this stuff. Yeah. Another one. They have 2 health. The spinies, those guys, they have 4. The pterodactyls have 1. And those guys, they have 3. So you can like it's really buggy because I have a lot happening. That's right, those things they carry on. They're a little broken, these guys. I actually think I can kill him from here. Is he dead? Yeah, he is. Oh, nope. Now he's dead. Them shooting stuff is it's a little glitched. There we go, a little skip level. Ugh. That vine, it got me. So I found, oh God. The blocks are really glitchy in this. This level's glitchy. Everything about Construct is glitchy. Okay. It's loading. It was loading, so it couldn't do the thing. This is gonna be another one of those parts where I'm gonna have to pause. Let me pause. I'm sorry. There we go. Sorry. It's not just the game. It's also me. I'm terrible and I'd rather... Are you serious? The checkpoint's here? For frick's sake. Oh my god, no! Okay, I can do it. I did it. It didn't even take... He got... Don't cuss me. That was bad. I'm sorry. I have 10 gems too. I don't know if you see this. I'm done. I just gotta get to the end. I did it! See, we did it. It's all good. It's like... Okay, give me a second. And I made it. I didn't realize you can double jump over that one part and get past it. And so when you reach the end, there's like a wall here, and you get like this little flower, and it spits out these gross little ball-like things. So that's the level. We did it. I got there. Let's talk about it, right? I don't... Control. I was gonna say, I haven't used this in such a long time. Okay. So, let's first talk about the level. And so, you start here. These are little checkpoints, you got your little walkways, there's him. You move on. Here are the walls for the roaming enemies. They stop when they hit them so they don't kill themselves and go over the edge. Strange. I think, oh, that's right. I always end up killing him. So because from here you can shoot him, or from down here. Yes, from down here, because this guy moves up and down. I forget you always miss him, because when you shoot him and he has 1 health. He moves up and down like this, so you can't get this. But it's also because I think you're able to jump off of him. I'm not sure, but he's there. I just always forget about him, because he goes all the way up here, and when you're shooting these guys, you accidentally shoot him, and he only has 1 health. So moving platform. The trees. We're moving. I'll show you this part. I killed him and him, so I double jumped over that guy. Then I double jumped to the end. So that's how that works. That's how that works. So that's everything. So let's look at the event sheet. Let's go through this mess. So in Construct, you're able to get the free version, which gives you up to 50 event projects. If you want more, you have to pay for it. So I have the free edition. I have exactly 50. So I barely made the cut with everything that I had without having to go in, you know. So first of all, maybe we should talk about these. So yeah, let's, oops. Insert new object. For these guys, the enemies, they're sprites. The particle systems are these little things on the side, which I'll get more into in the event graph. The tile and the tile map, the tile map is the thing in the background, so all the trees and stuff, and the tiled, oh no, that's the tiled background. The tiled map is these. Right here. Yeah, I think that's it that we need to actually focus on. Yeah, no text. So this is a camera, which I think is an what is it? I think it's just a sprite, but you can't see in the game. We should move this out. You can't see it in the game, but it allows you to follow the player. So no matter where the player goes, this little green box is always on him, so that you can. So obviously it follows him. This over here. I don't know if you can see my hand. I gotta leave soon, so I'm trying to watch the time and record this at the same time. This is a particle system, which is this particle system right here, and it has a specific size, speed, opacity, growth rate, and I think spread, which I think is the grow rate or the X randomizer. I think them together. So when you hit it, it makes this little particle effect to show you that you have reached that checkpoint. This is the bullet, so when he shoots, it plays this bullet, and I think this bullet, I thought it had an animation. It doesn't. It's just it's a bullet type. because when you add a new sprite, you put it in here, and it has a speed. Maybe it's not in here. I'm gonna delete that because I didn't mean to make it. Where is the bullet? I don't think the bullet is actually on here. But whenever he fires, that's the speed of it. And when it hits the tile map and them, it disappears, obviously. Death, so when you get hit by one of them or when you fall down here, it'll make this particle effect to show that you died. These guys spit bullets kind of like you do, but they're little acid bullets. These, see it says spit? And they don't move, but whenever you get into their line of fight, they'll attack you, and we'll talk about that more in there. These guys, these are just roaming types. They're just roaming types. The Apache's just roaming type, and they're flying roaming types. This is the end marker, so when you touch it, you've reached the end. We can actually scroll all the way down. Yeah. So just when you touch it, it's the end. End spray, it's kind of like the checkpoint. It'll play this little particle effect with all of this on the side, its speed, size, and whatnot, to kind of tell you, yeah, you reached the end. The enemy walls are these little pink things right here. It's on the game layer. That's right, because you have to make a game layer and a UI layer for the gems, which we'll get into more. The gems themselves, which are right here, pick them up. Gem UI, which over here it's on the UI layer, which you don't see it, but displays a little thing in the top corner telling you how many you have. When you hit them, this little, I don't know if you saw, but the little particle system, this little square box comes from them to show that you are hitting them. You have to add a keyboard so that you can actually move him. You have to add your little player, which I did. His name's Kyle. I was watching South Park at the time, so I thought, I'm gonna name him Kyle. This is the moving platform. It has a horizontal sign in the period of 2 that allows it to move back and forth at rapid speed. Then this is just a regular sprite that's just a line to show you how far it goes. The Apache's just a wandering thing we already went over. This is a respawn, so whenever you die and you respawn at one of these checkpoints, the little check mark of green will spawn you to kind of give you this little spawning effect. Little spit bullets, which are like your bullets, come out of the guys, and when they hit you and these walls, it kills you. You only have, I think it tells you, Kyle only has, is it over here, or is it, because he only has 1 health. Might not be over here. It has a gem. Oh, I think this is it. But you have a health of 1. You have, like, weak health. I don't even know what this is. I think it's just a random sprite that doesn't need to be there. Just a random sprite. Cancel. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with anything because I don't want to break it. Everything works. You have these sprites which act as these right here. There's 2 different ones because they have 2 different styles. One for left, one for right. Same with these. They have different styles. But all 4 of these things, including the treetops, have jump through behavior so that you can jump through them, obviously, to go up to the tree. I don't think any of them have a jump downwards. I don't think you can do that. And then these are just solid. They're kind of like the tile map there, except you have to, I can't have 2 tile maps. You can only have 1. So this is just a sprite and you can't go through it and it just stops you, obviously. Then the vines So the vines you can climb. Is the behavior over here? No. I think that's all in the event sheet. And the vine box, which, in order for the vines to work, you have to have this little guy that does a specific thing. All of that's in the event sheet, just kind of, and that's about it. So, when I come back, which for you, it'll be like a second, but for me, I have to go to class. Well, I don't have to go to class, but I have to go for a film meetup, for the 48-hour film festival that GCU is hosting this semester. I'm going to act in it. Sorry, I'm thinking about stuff but I have to go. So for you, it'll be for like a second, but for me, it'll be a little bit. When I come back, I shall explain how everything works. And Construct is Unreal is very understandable, but there's some things in Unreal really kind of don't make sense, and I've talked about it a couple times in my Unreal videos. So like sometimes the gate, like the gate node and the timeline node, they don't really make sense in what they're used for, and all the explanations don't really make a lot of sense. So some things in Unreal are hard to understand. Unity is all programming. Unity is a very programming based design application, whereas Unreal is a mixture of both in a way, but Unreal has less programming than Unity. And then this programming is very, very, very simple. Like, it literally walks you through everything that, like, what it means, and it tells you kind of, and it's easy to understand, unlike Unreal, which is actually like Python and like stuff. I don't know programming. I'm a game designer. I don't know programming. But like the programming that programmers actually use with like the codes that looks like gibberish, that's what Unity uses, so it's a little confusing. I was gonna do a Unity level, but I deleted Unity off of my computer because it was taking up space. And I never use Unity anyways, and Construct is all through the internet. Like, I don't have to download anything for Construct to work. And then I just have Unreal because I have classes where I still use Unreal in. So I won't be showing a Unity level because I don't have access to that Unity level anymore, which is a bummer. Yeah, I don't have, well, I might have access. I don't know if I'll be able to access it. I can try, but I doubt I'll do a video in it. So when I come back, I'll explain all of this. So. But bye for now. For you, it'll be like a split second. For me, it'll be like an hour. Okay, and I'm back. Haha! An hour, and then, I don't know when, but people are gonna come here to film. Do a film shoot here to my apartment. Anyways, so let's talk about how everything moves. So first things first is we gotta get our player to move. So, well, first of all, we gotta set some animations and set some platforming stuff. So Kyle, which actually let's get our doodad going. Let's look over here into the left side. So his max speed is 275. These are all the numbers you can read. He's got double jump on, which I didn't know. Haha, really dumb. He doesn't have any behaviors because everything else is within here. So for our tile maps, right here. Yeah, we have to make the behavior solid so that when Kyle gets onto the platform and he's standing on it, he can stand on it basically. But when he's not moving, he's playing his idle animation, which is this. And let's get a preview. See? He's bobbing. There's a little idle movement that he's got going on. So that's when he's on a platform, as it says here, on a platform, and he's idle, he's not moving. And it starts from the beginning, like it says right there. So when he's not moving. Then when he is moving and he's on a platform, he's got the running animation. So let's go to run, and we can see here the different animations. So let's get a preview. See? So that's how he's going to look when he runs. Next thing is getting him to move on command. So when you press the arrow key to the left, we can actually... So you're going to go in here all the way. You choose Kyle, which I think is what it's on. Or no. It'll be keyboard. I think it's on key pressed is what we want. And so then when you do this, you'll choose whatever key you want them to move on. So you do WASD as well. And that's how they'll move. So when you, but it has to be mirrored because he's looking this way. So when he goes left, his image has to change. So now that he's looking to the left, and he just isn't going left and looking right. So that's what that does, and it does it both for that. And then jumping. So when you press a certain key, which is spacebar in this, you can change that, but it's just basically. So is jumping. It'll play the animation. So let's go back to Kyle. Jump animation. And these are all just pictures when you download stuff like this. When I downloaded it, it'll just play it. Oops. There we go. So when he jumps, that's what he'll look like. And then of course when you stop, it'll play idle again. He has a different animation regime, but okay. So now we get into our camera. So let's go to camera up here. So camera, it's a sprite. Position, whatever, doesn't matter. Layer. I don't think it has any behaviors or instances. Oh, it has instances. So its instance variable is scroll to, so which means it'll follow, and this in here will make it follow Kyle. So it'll be a system. Every tick, the camera will set its position to the position of the character, which is what this means basically. And I can show you, of course. That's what you would type, and it would be for X and for Y. Now we're going to talk about gems, and gems, let's go back over here, G, there we go. It doesn't really have anything, because it's just a sprite. So when Kyle's on collision with the gem, it'll destroy the gem and add the gem to our gem UI system, which is this. So every tick, and the UID you have to match to Kyle, I believe. Let me see. No? Maybe? Maybe. Or is it to the gem? No, I think it is to Kyle. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. This was such a long time ago. Anyways, it'll add the gem to the UI system, which is what this is right here. And the text of that is whatever. So then checkpoints doesn't have any instant variables or behaviors. So when Kyle is on collision with the checkpoint will set check to true, set the current checkpoint amount, which they're numbered in the layer. Which checkpoint is this? I don't think it's in here. Is it in here? No. It looks all pixelated here, but it looks fine out there. Anyways, it'll set it to that current. So it'll like it does the system of when you pass the checkpoint, it sets it so that your current checkpoint that you're on, the current number checkpoint that you're on that you will spawn to, is there. And then it'll play the particle system at checkpoint number. All the checkpoints. And then if it's not checked, it's just going to be the checkpoint, basically, is what that's saying. And this is to spawn Kyle there. So when he's outside of the layout, and the layout for this is this black line right here, and this black line. So when he jumps above that layout, it will kill him, kill the camera, it'll wait, create the camera and Kyle, set gems to whatever they are, wait a couple seconds, and then do this. It'll do the particle system for respawn. And all at the same time, it'll check which checkpoint you are currently on to set you back to that. And the death system basically works for every single thing. So when you're on collision with him, it'll kill you. When you're on collision with him, it'll kill you. And this is, so this stock right here, this is complicated, I forgot. So stock is set to 0 here. We have to add 2 instance variables, and that's stock and health. So the Patchy has 2 health, and its stock is going to be at 0. That's its max speed, all that kind of stuff. And default controls will be enabled. I think Kyle's are enabled. You have default controls are enabled, and his are not enabled, so that you know, because you don't want to move and then they move when you move, because that's not good. So what it's going to do is your instant variable is stock going to be equal to 0, so that when it is doing that, it'll simulate pressing left, which means it'll go left and be mirrored that way. When it's set to 1, it'll simulate going right, and then it'd be set to not mirrored so that it turns the other way. And then this wall, the enemy wall, which is just a basic sprite, but you can't see it in the game. Initially visible, yeah. Is that when it's on collision, it'll set its stock back to 0 so that it'll go the other direction. So then if it's on 1, it'll go to 0. That's what this is all saying. And the animation for the Patchy is just these pictures. He's all mad. He has his head down because, as seen in Jurassic Park, those things come at you with their heads. See, he's so cute. He's probably my favorite. He's adorable. And then of course on collision with kill you. And it's the same way for every single enemy, so it's the same way for him. The only difference with him is that his health is different. He has 4 health, as you can see there, and we can play his stock. His little mouth moves. So that's that. And he kills you. Same with the Petras, except the Petras, which are just pterodactyls, have only 1 health. Where is it? Oh, instant variable isn't there, so it has 0 health. I guess that just means it has 1 health. I did not put anything for that. And then of course it's the same thing. Oh, that's right. Jumping isn't spacebar. I keep thinking it's spacebar because in every other game it is spacebar, but it's all arrow keys for this. So now we're getting into the shooting aspect of it. So when you press this, his animation is set to shoot, which, let's see that animation. His gun just does that. This is where it was kind of complicated because his animation didn't want to work with shooting, which is why sometimes you'll see him, like when we play, you'll see him just like, he'll die and then when you go to walk, he just moves and the camera doesn't follow him. You have to shoot first and then everything's fixed. And that's the whole thing. So that's all he does. It's just like a little, when you shoot a gun in real life, you get a little backlash from it. And you put it in the player movement group, which all the way at the top, you have this. And this is for checkpoint, and this is for gem. And so this player movement is just all the same. It's just saying, like, it's part of him now. Yeah, and then when it's finished, it goes back to, because you can't jump and you can't go forward while shooting. I actually think you can, but that's why it adds it, and then, but it deactivates. What it does is it deactivates all of this nonsense up here, how he moves and how he jumps, so that he can shoot. It activates the other thing. There we go. So when his animation is playing shoot, Kyle has 2 health? Is that what that's saying? Or animation frame 2. On animation frame 2 is what it's saying. Trigger once, it'll spawn a bullet. So every time you press space, it'll trigger the bullet on animation frame 2. So if we look into his animation frame 2, shoot. On this part is when the bullet comes out, which is actually kind of weird. It should be this one. It actually should be 0, but whatever. The bullet is out, and Kyle is mirrored. All this stuff. And then this is so the bullet doesn't go on forever. When it hits a tile map, it's destroyed. When it's outside the layout, it's destroyed. On collision with all of these things, it's destroyed. So this is the health system. Oh, it's supposed to play this card. Particles when they die. So when his health's at 0, he's destroyed. On collision with a bullet, he's destroyed. Subtract, and then all of this is what it does, is that it creates an object, and it'll create the particle system that you can't see. Well, I got really close to the mic there, sorry if I get loud all of a sudden. Because it's white, it's just a white square on the patchy, and then when it's 2-0, it'll wait a couple seconds, and then it'll kill him. It'll just subtract 1 from the health and destroy him. And it goes the same way for all of them. Now we get into the spit system of, I don't think, is it on him? No. Where's he at? Yeah, no. I guess it's down here more where I do this. Yeah, there it is. It's kind of out of order. This is a non-collision with the spit thing, which was what these guys spit out. And then it just kills you. It's the same thing. A lot of it you can just kind of copy and paste and change a couple things that's why construct is just so easy, because it's just like everything makes sense. Everything you can literally copy and paste because everything works the same for every other object, and it's, yeah. Anyways, so now we get to climbing. And so when you're over the vine, you go up to go up, obviously. But it'll change the gravity to 0 and change his vector to -100 as like a vertical upward thing instead of a forwards thing. And it'll play the animation of climb, which is what this is. It's like little butt shakes when he climbs. Yeah. So that's what he does. Why is it burning? And it's the same way for down. This is all just the same thing. I don't know why this is here twice, but this is all basically the same thing. And then when he isn't overlapping, it'll set it back to what his original gravity is. So I think we go into him, 1700. But because he jumps, he's a little bit floaty. So you would set it to that. So now we get into him and how he shoots. So when Kyle gets in his line of sight, it'll play the animation of spitting. So, here. That's his idle. I forgot he has an idle one. Because he's just waiting to see you. He doesn't move. And this is his spit one. His mouth gets all wide. He spits at you. Just like the guy from little guy from Jurassic Park 1 when he kills that one guy. And it creates it just like the bullet does, pretty much. And it's basically, it does everything that the bullet does, except it's for him, and it happens only when you're in his line of sight. And then his death system obviously is the same as all the other ones. And then last but not least, on collision with that little flower thing, it's the final check mark is what it is, and it plays this. So no matter what you do, you die, you would end up at the end. Unless you went backwards and triggered a different checkpoint system, because you can't always do that. So that's everything in this game, in my construct project. I'm putting more projects onto my YouTube channel. Oh, there's the bullet and the spit right there. Because I want to, my god, this is a 40-minute video. Unreals are only 20 or 30. Because I'm making a website for a class, and I was like, show them all the stuff that I'm doing. So, meta, that this is gonna be on that website. Anyways, so that's my project. That's my construct. I won't be doing a Unity project because I don't have Unity anymore. I think I already explained that at the beginning. And then I've got some film projects that will go up on there, as well as the filming that we're doing tonight. So, that's my project. Thanks for watching.